here today, I would like to talk about the Indo-US Organization for Rare Diseases, or Indo-US Rare for short. This is a nonprofit started by Dr. Harsha Rajasimha, who is a social entrepreneur and a genomic scientist, and also a rare dad. He lost one of his daughter to Edwards syndrome, and this was in 2012 when he was also actively involved in genomic research. And it became his mission to accelerate therapies, most specifically orphan therapies for rare diseases. And our mission with Indo-US Rare is connecting the Indian diaspora of individuals who are affected by rare disease to research and clinical trials globally. So I'm sure you're all aware of this. Conducting global clinical trials is not an easy task, but unfortunately, there is a lot of inequities when it comes to the distribution of clinical trials. Bulk of it happens in the Western Hemisphere, specifically in the United States and Europe, with very few trials happening in India, China, where the major population is. So there is a big disparity there, and our hope is to create collaborative bridges so that we can accelerate this or bring these clinical trials to diverse population and accelerate development of these therapies. So again, there is lack of global diversity, equity, and access to clinical trials, and there is underrepresentation of Indian diaspora in genetic databases and registries. I think that is the first step to increase diversity and to bring the clinical trials to everyone globally. And there is little engagement and inclusion of Indian subcontinent in rare disease research and therapy development. Now, our mission, again, is to connect the people, affected individuals, all stakeholders in India, US, and globally, and to create opportunities for collaboration, whether it is through conferences, webinars, and other interactions, to facilitate cross-border research and also advocate for these for rare disease population globally. And this is our board of directors at the organization. We have, again, Dr. Harsha Rajasimha is here, and then we have others from the industry, as well as Dr. Frank Sinowski, Charles Andre, multiple people are involved. All of us are doing this outside of our regular work. So the only two people are involved full time. So that is Dr. Nisha Venugopal, who's our program manager and would be your contact person if you are in touch with our organization, and Ramya Karur, who's our program associate. And this is our advisory board, and I'm sure you're familiar with some of the individuals here. And we started in end of November 2019. In the last 3 years, we have, this is our impact. We have reached about 20,000 patients across like 4 different continents in 50 countries. We have 45 patient alliance members, 6 corporate alliance members, and we have hosted several global events, invited speakers. Some of us have been invited speakers on multiple conferences. And we have also been involved in policy inputs, like we have offered our feedback to certain documents that are put forth by the Indian government as well as by the FDA on data sharing and diversity in rare disease research. And I just wanted to, this is our main theme of or the main crux of my presentation as the key programs that we offer, because I know that some of the consortium, I think it is the, if I were not mistaken, I think it's a new, Raj, can you remind me which consortium had reached out to us? I forget now the name of the consortium. I know it is Dr. Michael Shai's group.
I believe it was INC.
INC, yeah. They had reached out to us for our services, and because all of our programs have the focus of patients in the middle, and what we are trying to do is to offer services to not only just the patients, but also to researchers and physicians. So we have a patient concierge, I'll get into it in the next slide, program, patient alliance program, who are our members. Then we advocate for policy. Then we help with research, education, outreach, and awareness, and we also have a corporate alliance. So this is our technology-enabled patient concierge. So as I mentioned, Dr. Rajasimha, he is also a computer scientist, and his other job is he is also the founder for Jiva Trials, which is a technology-enabled platform for the decentralization of clinical trials, or for promoting decentralized trials. So we are using that platform to create this patient concierge, and which is also the opportunity, or also the option to provide communication through omni-channel digital platforms. So this is the flow chart. So the patients seek information or assistance through our patient contact form. I have provided the web link below. and they provide consent so that we could share their information to the experts. Then there is an information exchange between people between the patient and the concierge, which is through email, SMS, maybe a call, and then we will connect them with experts. Either sometimes the request is for clinical trials or having a e-visit with the expert. And we provide resources for patient education. And then we follow up with the patients to make sure that we are continuing their engagement. And in the last 3 years, we have received about 75 plus requests. And these are the different requests that have come forth. And this is one place where I think one example would be that a patient would have reached to us and saying that they can't speak in English and they needed some translation. Or they have got some information in another language and can we help with translation. And this is where I think the INC consortium had reached out to us. Again, helping with certain translations. We have helped increase awareness about the disease through getting information from GARD and the NIH website. We have helped with, we haven't provided financial assistance, but have guided the patients to the right people who can help them with crowdsourcing. We have provided access to expert opinion. So through this platform, we have done about 4 different consultations, e-consultations. So the patients were able to get either a second opinion or maybe the only opinion from an expert. And many times they were not in the same city or town. So it could be within India. And I believe one of the conversations was with an expert who was in the United States. So we have helped conduct these e-consultations with the consent of the patient and having our researcher experts who are also members of our group. And there were 3 of the 75 plus requests, 3 were outside India. So we are seeing that our platform is also used by the larger, like the South Asian population. So we have had requests from Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka. So the countries around it, it's not just the Indians who are reaching out to us, but also the people around us. And yep. And then this is our Patient Alliance membership program. This may be something of interest to your group. So currently we have 45 different patient advocacy groups across 3 countries. So the value is that we are able to connect patient foundations in the United States to cost-effective preclinical research and resources in India. And as you are aware, India has a lot of research institutes which are doing good research, I should say, maybe at a cost which is much lower than the price we pay here to do research. So whether it is developing certain preclinical models or even in silico models or in vitro models, and maybe there is an option back in India. And we have been able to connect patient groups in the Indian subcontinent to the latest cutting edge clinical research and resources that is happening in the United States, because some of the families are willing to travel and stay in the United States if their child or their family member can avail some of the treatments that is available in the United States. So we have been able to make those connections, and many times families just want to meet another family member. And so we have been able to connect these families to the patient organizations, both in the United States, and also some of our organizations are from US and Australia. So we have been able to connect with them as well. Then there will be quarterly Patient Alliance member meetings to engage the members with the in different working groups to take forward initiatives such as advocacy, education, and shared resources for research, and informing patients about upcoming or ongoing clinical trials anywhere in the world for diseases that are represented by our members. So these are our current members, and it is growing rapidly. So I don't know if any of the who are attendees have been listed in here. But if not, I hope you will reach out to us to become our members and to avail our services. And this is our research program. So we do have a research core, which is a cohort of experts, which include physicians, specialists, scientists, and geneticists. This is the expert group whom we reach out to when there is a request for either additional information, or sometimes we have got requests from physicians from the United States who have come across a specific genetic mutation that they have not reached before or seen before. And so the families would reach out to us, and then we get connected with the physician. And we were able to connect those physicians to the physicians back in India who might have seen more cases with that particular variant. So that was one of our, I think, it was a good moment for us, because we were able to help the patient by connecting the experts from different continents and giving them expert opinion. And basically, they were able to decide the management of that patient based on the feedback they got from the experts in India. So we are trying to expand our research core as well. And there is this QR code which you could use to get to the link where if, in case you have people who may be interested in joining our research core, please have them guide them to this resource. And we have also got certain funding from pharma, and we are actively pursuing other grants from NIH and other, even from the Indian government. So we have completed a feasibility of patient-reported data in India. This was a grant by RARIC. We have completing our epidemiology study in which was funded by Takeda, and the manuscript is under review. We have completed a financial advocacy study in rare diseases using the Global Genes Fair grant, and we have obtained grants and donations from other companies as well. So these are some of the reports that have come out of these research. And we have actually been involved in other educational and awareness programs. We do conduct quarterly webinars. The last one was on the carriers, on X-linked carriers. And this webinar was taken up by the working group for medical education, the NOD working group for medical education for their summer training. They had provided this as a resource for the students so that they could learn about the carriers, and we had speakers from India, Africa, and the United States. So it was kind of again a global event which was utilized as a resource, and it's all of these webinars are now on our YouTube channel. So anybody who's interested can go check it out. We have also hosted symposiums and workshops on Rare Disease Day, and Art for Rare is our art competition for all age groups, and these are like some of the artwork that has been posted on our website. And actually the FDA had reached out to us, and they will be showcasing this art at their Rare Disease Day event next year. Roar for Rare is another event that we are hosting around the Rare Disease Day, and we also have been hosting annual conferences. These are all virtual, but we are having the first in-person summit happening this fall, and I will get to it in a second. And we have been, Dr. Harsha especially has been a speaker at multiple events and speaking engagements with the Rare Disease Diversity Council, Diversity Coalition, and FDA, etc. So in the United States, we have been actually involved in advocacy, both in the United States and in India. So the India has a national policy for rare disease, NPRD 2021, and which was available for offering comments. And we did offer our comments to the policy. There is a science, technology, and innovation policy that is being finalized, and we have offered our feedback into that. And the same thing with the FDA calls for public inputs. We have always been proactive and offering comments, especially when it relates to diversity, increasing diversity fund global clinical trials. This is our corporate alliance program, and I know that's not of interest to you. We have 5 corporate alliance members currently, and again, the idea is to engage them as well as in increasing diversity in clinical trials. And these are some of our recent highlights. So we, as I mentioned, the epidemiology study that was funded by Takeda, we have worked on a manuscript, which is basically a review of the methods for estimating the prevalence and incidence of rare disease. It's right now in under review. We recently received a DEIA grant from the Rare Disease Diversity Coalition, and we will produce a review of the state of DEIA in rare disease research and clinical trials. Again, I mentioned this, the Art for Rare, the artwork from children will be displayed at the FDA Rare Disease Day event 2024. We have connected our Indian representative to an upcoming STAR3 FDA patient listening session. And we also are one of the recipients of the Horizon Rare is Global Advocacy Grant. And we are working with Motor Neuron Disease Trust, which is an organization in India, in setting up an ALS registry in India. Again, I mentioned Dr. Harsha Rajasimha was invited by the FDA to speak to their OOPD reviewers. Again, the idea was to focus on the urgent need for global DEIA in patient registries and clinical trials. And this was, again, an educational event, mostly training the reviewers who will be looking at the applications. And we are also on the news, one of the news articles, we are trying to focus on patient registries and clinical trials, and why are patient registries key to accelerating research, why diversity is important. It was how they picked up by the Times of India for the conference that was put forth by the MND Trust back in India this summer. And now coming to our first in-person summit that we are hosting at George Mason University on October 29th and 30th. So the registration is open. We are finalizing our agenda and the program. Again, idea is to facilitate cross-border patient engagement. We have, these are the themes that we will be having the different sessions on: care pathways, digitization of rare diseases, because for having global registries, digitization is key. And also for engaging in DEI and globalization of orphan drugs, and talking about regulatory pathways, especially for global clinical trials. So this is our planning committee. We have representatives from George Mason and also Bioinnovation, and also representatives from India and US. And we have several confirmed speakers, and many more are, we are trying to finalize and confirm more speakers. I just put in some of them here, whoever could fit in, without squeezing them too much. And we also will be hosting a gala dinner. And for the idea is to recognize stalwarts in this area of cross-border research. So Dr. Abby Myers have agreed to offer maybe it's a televised speech. She will be offering her remarks on this event. And we call it as the Abby Myers Kushi Bridging Rare Awards. Kushi is the child that Dr. Rajasima lost. So in memory of her, we are offering this award. Dr. I.C. Verma is a pioneer in genetic research in India. He is the one who started educating the new generation of physicians in improving diagnosis and identifying these genetic diseases and the need for improved methods for diagnosis and other treatment. And so we would like to recognize him. He's one of the recipients. So these are our media partners, event partners, and sponsors. And again, please engage with us at bridgingrare.org is our website, and we are inviting your participation. You could have an exhibit, you could be a speaker. We are also, there's a call for posters as well. So if you have been involved in research, please have your young investigators put in their abstract so that they could showcase their work and meet diverse scientists, people from different continents. Yep, I think that is all I had. So if you want me to engage with us, we are on all social media channels, and admin@indousrare.org. That email should come to all of us, and we should be able to respond to you quickly. So hope some of you would be interested and would reach out to us.